Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense. The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun.
A warm welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I am Akosile Nicholas Walter. Here are the news making the headlines. Jeff Bezos praises Buhari over Nigeria's climate actions. Uhuru Kenyatta paints grim picture of impact on Africa. World leaders promise to end deforestation by 2030. CBN plans app for persons without bank accounts. And Tottenham hire Antonio Conte as new manager. Stay with us as we bring you details of the news after this very sharp break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Now the news in details. American billionaire and founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, has heaped praises on President Muhammadu Buhari for his leadership role in restoring degraded lands in the country. This is as he described a commitment to restore 4 million hectares as exemplary. Bezos said this in Glasgow, Scotland, when he joined Buhari, French President Emmanuel Macron, Prince Charles, and the Mauritanian President Mohamed Ghazouani at a COP26 side event entitled Accelerating Land Restoration in Africa, the case of a Great Green Wall Initiative. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, disclosed this in a statement. The Bezos fund has $10 billion to allocate to projects fighting climate change, and Nigeria is due to assume the leadership of a conference of heads of state and governments of Pan-African Agency of a Great Green Wall. Buhari had used the occasion of his address to appeal to fellow leaders to continue to make concerted efforts at land restoration. The president also pledged Nigeria's unalloyed commitment to expanding the achievements of the GGW program in Africa from the enviable status attained under the leadership of President Mohamed Ould Ghazouani of Mauritania. And moving forward quickly, youths, Nigeria's most strategic asset, says Buhari. Muhammadu Buhari has described Nigerian youths as the country's most strategic assets. Buhari said this during the National Youth Conference tagged Energizing the Youth for Development, Inclusiveness, Governance, Security, and Employment, which held at Abuja. Represented by the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Buhari stated that young Nigerians are currently at the front lines of every consequential struggle for the future. This was contained in a statement released by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Laolu Akonde. Buhari noted that young Nigerians are breaking new grounds, breaking records, and winning laurels, even in diaspora. The president also hailed youths in technology, education, e-commerce, social entrepreneurship, and other aspects of the economy. Buhari also mentioned the Jubilee Fellows internship program and Empower as some of his schemes geared towards youth support. He stated that Nigerians must, most importantly, maintain faith in the country and remain optimistic that the country will fulfill its aspiration. In another development, Niger Delta women give federal government 1 week ultimatum over NDDC board. Scores of women from the Niger Delta region have threatened to march round the streets of Port as well as the corporate headquarters of the Niger Delta Development Commission naked if President Muhammadu Buhari fails to inaugurate a substantive board of the commission within 7 days. The women, including activists, opinion leaders, and professionals across the 9 states of the region under the auspices of Wailing Women of Niger Delta, WWND, lamented that the people of the region had been taken for granted for too long, while those they looked up to had let them down. The women, in a statement in Port Harcourt on Monday, were accompanied by some members of Integrity Friends for Truth and Peace Initiative, saying lack of substantive board for NDDC had further impoverished the region, insisting that they were hard hit by the hardship. The women, clad in black attires, called on the federal government to publish the forensic audit report of a commission and condemned a grand plot to sustain the ongoing sole administration of NDDC till the end of Buhari's government. They asked the Minister of Delta State Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio, to account for all the billions of naira that accrued to NDDC during the 2-year period of the current administration. The aggrieved women posited that there were no more excuses to keep delaying the board's inauguration other than undermining the core mandates of NDDC. And quickly, coming from around Africa, Uhuru Kenyatta paints a green picture of impact on Africa. Kenya President Uhuru Kenyatta has called on leaders of wealthy nations to take into consideration special needs and circumstances of Africa and the fight against climate change. Addressing the world at the COP26 climate conference in Glasgow, he said Kenya has developed a plan to maintain low-carbon development trajectory by 2030. He further called on leaders of developed nations to provide tailor-made supports for Africa, as Africa has its own challenges. Dozens of small island states and major low-lying cities worldwide are worried about the impact climate change could have on their country if urgent measures are not taken. President of Seychelles, John Charles Ramakalawan, said when he hears the expression rising sea level, he is scared because it brings home the awareness that my country's granitic islands will lose all the economic activities happening around the coast. Ramkalawan added that he feared the Seychelles and the beautiful archipelago of 115 islands may be reduced to less than 50 islands as the coral reefs disappear. And still coming from around Africa, Ramaphosa opposition leader John Destinies cast vote. South Africans cast a ballot Mondays in local elections expected to reflect growing discontent with the African National Congress, whose popularity has been waning even before deadly riots in July. Polls suggest a majority of voters could, for the first time, turn against the ANC, which has governed nationally since Nelson Mandela's election ended white rule in 1994. Senior party members, including ex-President Jacob Zuma, face a slew of corruption investigations, and the latest linked to coronavirus spending. Unemployment has hit 34.4% in July, and Zuma's imprisonment sparked riots and looting that left at least 354 dead. But for many voters, daily frustrations are at the forefront. Decades of mismanagement have corroded state utilities, causing water cuts and rolling blackouts that interrupted the ANC's own campaigning. Early Monday, he was in a queue of less than 20 people at a polling station near President Cyril Ramaphosa's childhood home, and he wants change. About 26 million people registered to vote out of an eligible population of around 40 million. We'll go on a very short break. When we'll come back, we'll bring you updates from around the world. Stay connected. We'll be right back.
Hello, have you been searching for an appropriate platform to advertise and promote your product and services? Are you a minister of the gospel and you want your message to spread across the globe? Stop this search. We've got the coverage to give your voice and ministry the amplification you require. To get a rewarding and cost-effective solution to that business idea of yours, Celebration TV is here to take your dream to the climax. We provide the following services: voiceover production, documentary packages, video production of your event, video editing, script writing, affordable live broadcast of your events, and more. For more information, please contact us on +234 703 341 3637 or +234 816 234 8181. You can also reach us via our social media platform: Facebook Celebration TV, Instagram My Celebration TV, Twitter us at My Celebration TV, YouTube Celebration TV. And you can send us a mail on celebrationtelevision@gmail.com.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us still. Now, world leaders promise to end deforestation by 2030. More than 100 world leaders from around the world will promise to end and reverse deforestation by 2030 in the COP26 Climate Summit's first major deal. Brazil, where stretches of the Amazon rainforest have been cut down, will be among the signatories on Tuesday. The pledge includes almost £14 billion of public and private funds. Experts welcome the move, but warn a previous deal in 2014 had failed to slow deforestation at all, and commitments needed to be delivered on. Felling trees contributes to climate change because it depletes forests that absorb vast amounts of the warming gas CO2. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who is hosting the global meeting in Glasgow, will call Tuesday's deal a landmark agreement to protect and restore the Earth's forests. The two-week summit in Glasgow is seen as crucial if climate change is to be brought under control. And the countries who says they will sign the pledge, including Canada, Brazil, Russia, China, Indonesia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, the US and the UK cover around 85% of the world's forest. Governments of 28 countries will also commit to remove deforestation from the global trade of food and other agricultural products such as palm oil, soya, and cocoa. More updates from around the world still from Australia. So Australia Prime Minister rejects sledging from France amid row. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has escalated a row with France over a scrapped submarine deal, saying his nation will not accept sledging and slows. French President Emmanuel Macron said he knew Mr. Morrison had lied to him about his intention to renege on the deal. Mr. Morrison denies he lied, but he has been accused of cynically twisting Mr. Macron's words as rebuking Australians rather than him personally. In September, Australia cancelled the $37 billion deal with France to build 12 diesel-powered submarines and instead negotiated a defense pact with the US and the UK, the so-called AUKUS. It will see Australia gain access to US nuclear submarine technology, a move seen as a strategic counter to China. But the move infuriated France, which said it was blindsided, and France and Paris temporarily called its ambassadors to Australia and the US. Mr. Macron and Mr. Morrison met at the G20 summit in Rome on the weekend, and their first meeting since the row. Speaking in Glasgow, Mr. Morrison maintained he did not wish to personalize the row, acknowledging France had taken offense. Now on business news, quickly, Central Bank of Nigeria plans app for persons without bank accounts. The Chief Executive Officer of Beat Incorporation, Brian Popeka, has said a phone application people without a bank account will be rolling out soon. He said the present version of the eNaira app could only be used by people with bank accounts. Beat Incorporation is the Central Bank of Nigeria's technical partner for the digital currency eNaira. According to the Central Bank of Nigeria, inclusion is a core objective of the eNaira. According to the CEO, launching the eNaira app was challenging, but the company relied on its past digital currency experience in Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. Popeka said the government would not be able to access the individual purchase histories of individuals using the eNaira app, but would be able to access bulk transaction histories. He added that banks would have access to individual transactions in order to track fraud. According to the CEO, financial institutions have a role to play in ensuring more people trust and use the digital currency. And still, on business news, stock market loses 32.26 billion naira as investors take profit. The equities markets of Nigerian Exchange Limited slide by 32.26 billion naira at the end of trading on Monday as investors cashed in on recent price appreciation. Market activities traded negative as the volume of shares traded slumped by 66.53% to 378.15 million units valued at 3.24 billion naira in 6,384 deals, compared to 1.13 billion shares worth 13.78 billion naira in 5,458 deals on Friday. Analyzing by sectors, the NGX oil and gas, banking, and consumer goods indices declined by 1.8%, 0.4%, and 0.3% respectively, while the NGX insurance and industrial goods indices recorded gains of 1.9% and 0.1% respectively. Market sentiments as measured by market breadth was largely negative as 33 firms depreciated while 20 tickers saw gains in share price. ENQUIRY PLC recorded the biggest loss on Monday as its share price tumbled by 9.94% to close at 7.79 per share, 7.79 naira per share. And UPDC lost 9.44% to close at 1.63 naira per share. Atop the gainers chart was Feedsin Healthcare Industries PLC as its share price climbed by 9.92% to 6.76 naira at the end of a trade on the floor of the NGX. Guinness Nigeria PLC gained 9.92% gain as its share price closed at 39.9 naira on Monday. We'll go on a short break. We'll come back. We'll bring you sport news. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and now on sports news. Tottenham eye Antonio Conte as new manager. Tottenham Hotspur currently pushing to appoint Antonio Conte as manager after the sacking of Nuno Espirito Santo and his coaching staff. Santos was sacked after Tottenham were beaten 3-0 at home by Manchester United over the weekend. Meanwhile, football transfer expert Fabrizio Romano said that Tottenham are now pushing to convince Antonio Conte as new manager to replace Nuno. Antonio Conte is ready to accept Tottenham's proposal. Talks underway and understood to be at final stages, a salary and long-term contract discussed, but he seemed convinced to say yes. Negotiations to continue in the next few hours in order to complete the agreement. In another sports news quickly, Messi keen on Barcelona return as technical director. Lionel Messi said he will return to live in Barcelona with his family when his time at Paris Saint-Germain was over. He said he would like to have the La Liga club in the role of a technical director, and Messi ended a 2-decade stay at FC Barcelona, where he was the record scorer with 672 goals. In the off-season, he joined PSG on a free transfer and a 2-year deal. Barca, who were 9th in La Liga, sacked coach Ronald Koeman last week, and Messi limped off injured in PSG's 2-1 win over champions Lille on Friday. But coach Mauricio Pochettino is hopeful he will be available for this week's Champions League game at RB Leipzig. We've come to the end of the news on Celebration Television News Desk. In case you're just joining us, here's the news headline. Jeff Bezos praises Buhari over Nigeria's climate actions. Uhuru Kenyatta paints grim picture of impact on Africa, and world leaders promise to end deforestation by 2030. The Central Bank of Nigeria plans app for persons without bank accounts. And Tottenham eyes Antonio Conte as new manager. Next is the photo of the day. Photo of the day. Can you see that somebody climbing towards success? What does that depict? Don't wait for the opportunity to come. Create it. You've got to create that opportunity, else it won't come at all. You can drop your comment on our social media platform on Facebook, Celebration TV, Instagram, My Celebration TV, Twitter at My Celebration TV, YouTube, Celebration TV. Always remember that your positive contribution to the wellness of a society you find yourself or the organization you work defines your leadership mind. As an individual who knows what to do and do without expecting to be pushed, has backed these ways to success. Be known today that everything we do, feel, and believe either has a positive or negative effect on humanity and national well-being. Be a part of nation building today. Thank you once again for staying with us on our news desk. I remain Akosile Nicholas Walter. So bye for now.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Doctor